student, myself Nimesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Antenna and Propagation lecture series. In my previous lecture, I completed chapter number 14. In that chapter, we have discussed about the measurement of antenna. So in that chapter, we discussed how we can measure the radiation pattern, gain of the antenna, directivity of the antenna. Now we start new chapter, chapter number 15, radio wave propagation. And in this lecture, we discuss first about the modes of propagation, and then we discuss about the Dopf propagation. So now we start with the modes of propagation. A typical radio communication link used to communicate between the transmitting and receiving antenna as shown in this figure. So here in this figure we can see this is a transmitter and this is a receiver, and this is a transmitting antenna and this is the receiving antenna. It becomes a radio communication link. The link consists of transmitter, transmission line, then transmitting antenna, then propagation path we can see here in this figure, then receiving antenna, and last receiver. So all these components mix up and make this communication link. Now modes of propagation. The wave radiated by transmitting antenna may reach the receiving antenna over any of many propagation paths. The way of propagation also called as a mode of propagation. So we know that the wave we have transmit from the transmitting to receiving receiver, it takes a more than one path. So according to that path, here we define the modes of propagation. So there are the three types, mainly three types of the modes of propagation. First one is the ground wave propagation. Second one is the tropospheric propagation, and last one is the ionospheric propagation. Now we discuss one by one. So first one we discuss about the ground wave propagation. Ground wave are the wave propagating near to the Earth's surface. So here in this figure we can see this is the ground wave propagation figure. So the ground wave are the waves that propagate near to the Earth's surface. Ground wave further classified into two categories. First one is the surface wave. The surface wave is the wave which travel along the Earth's surface, making all the time direct contact with the surface. And the second one type is the space wave. The space wave is the wave which travel over Earth's surface, taking a direct path through from the transmitting antenna to receiving antenna. So this is the space wave and the surface wave. Now we discuss second one type of modes of propagation is the tropospheric propagation. The troposphere is the region of the atmosphere within a 16 km from the Earth's surface. Wave which reach the receiving antenna by reflection or scattering in the troposphere are termed as a tropospheric wave. The propagation of this wave is named as a tropospheric propagation. Now, last one type of modes of propagation is the ionospheric propagation. The upper part of the atmosphere from 50 km to 400 km, where ionization is largely present, is called as a ionosphere. In the ionospheric propagation, a wave arrives at the receiving antenna after reflection or scattering in the ionosphere. The ionospheric propagation is also called as skywave propagation. So this is another name of the ionospheric propagation. That means it is also known as the skywave propagation. So this is the modes of propagation. Now we discuss about the factor affecting the radio wave propagation. So here First one factor that affect the radio wave propagation is the obstacle between the transmitter and receiver. So we know that there are the different types of the obstacle that are present in between the transmitter and the receiver. Now second one factor is the roughness of earth. Then third one is the curvature of the earth, that means curve of the earth. Then earth magnetic field. We know that the earth is rotated around the sun. So due to that, there is a magnetic field is also produced. So it also affects the radio wave propagation. Now next one is the distance between the transmitter and receiver. This is also important factor that affect the radio wave propagation. Now next one is the power transmitted, that means transmitting power. Next one is the frequency of operation. It is also important factor. We operate in L band, S band, then also in the microwave frequency. Then so according to that, this also affect. Now next one is the polarization of the wave. We know that there are different types of polarization: circular polarization, elliptical polarization, linear polarization. So according to that, it also affects the radio wave propagation. Now next one is the height of transmitting antenna. Next one factor is moisture content of the troposphere. Next one is characteristic of ionosphere. So these are the factors that affect the radio wave propagation. Now we discuss about the next one point, that is the duct propagation. In the duct propagation, radio signal follow a particular channel or duct in the atmosphere. This duct can be near to the Earth's surface or the elevated. To predict the path, M curve are required. Now we discuss about the M curve. For the standard atmospheric propagation to be studied, the normal refractive index will be sufficient. But to understand the non-standard propagation, we require a modified refractive index. It is given by n is equals to eta plus h by r. Here this r is indicate the true radius of the earth, and we know that the value of the r is the 6370 km. Eta is the actual refractive index, and the h is indicate the height above the ground. So this refractive index equation we require to calculate the actual path of propagation. The value of n is always close to the unity, but its actual value is important, and hence when dealing with the numerical value, it is convenient to introduce the excess modified refractive index n. We have n is equals to eta plus h by r. Now we subtract -1 from both the side, that means in the left hand side and in the right hand side. So in the left hand side we can write the n minus 1, and in the right hand side we write the eta minus 1 plus h by r. Now we multiply both the side by the 10 raised to 6. So in the left hand side equation becomes n minus 1 into 10 raised to 6, and in the right hand side we can write the eta minus 1 plus h by r into 10 raised to 6. The excess modified refractive index is given by m is equals to n minus 1 into 10 raised to 6 is equals to eta minus 1 plus h by r into 10 raised to 6. So this is the excess modified refractive index equation. When the value of m are plotted against h, the resultant curve are called as a M curve. Now inverse layer. Inverse layer is a region where atmosphere conditions are exactly opposite to that of the standard atmosphere. For the standard atmosphere, the modified index of the refraction increase linearly with height. In this case, the M curve is a straight line with a positive slope. See here, we can see this is a M curve and it is a straight line with a positive slope. Now, in figure B, that means in this figure, the slope of M curve decreases with the height up to certain edge and then it increases. So here we can see first it decrease and then it increase. The height for which the process of decreasing M continues from the inverse layer. It is called as inversion layer because in this region the atmospheric conditions are exactly opposite to that of the standard atmosphere. So that's why it is known as the inverse layer. This inversion layer is also called as a duct. In figure C, the slope of M increases up to certain height, then decreases and then again increases. Here we can see this is increase, decrease and increase. Here the inversion layer is not adjacent to the earth. It is elevated and it is called as a elevated duct. So this is a inversion layer. Now the formation of duct, how the duct is formed. When the temperature increases with the height over a certain range of height, it is known as temperature inversion. When the inversion layer is sandwiched between the Earth's surface and the standard atmosphere, then the cool air is trapped between the Earth's surface and the warm air. The region of cool air behaves like a channel or duct for the radio wave. So here this layer we can see this is a duct layer. Now duct propagation. The warm and cool air have different density and refractive qualities. When the radio wave is traveling upward from the cool air to the warm air, it faces a sudden changes its density above a duct, resulting in the refraction of the wave back towards the earth. So this is the duct propagation. When the radio strikes the earth or a warm layer below the duct, it again reflected or refracted upward and processed on through the duct with multi-hop type action. Here we can see in this figure multi-hop action. The wave now is said to taper or guide along the duct. Hence, this mode of propagation is called as a duct propagation. So this is the duct propagation. So in this lecture, we have studied about the modes of propagation and duct propagation in radio wave propagation chapter. Thank you.